What's going on, people? Jay the Black here. I want to talk about the game and the situation that he finds himself in. For y'all who know and don't know, I actually did a video about the game in this particular situation with this particular female. Apparently, he did a reality show, and he had this female on, and I saw some of the episodes, and she was very flirtatious with him, trying to be the center of attention, be that as it may. Well, he was accused and later found to be liable for assault, sexual assault. And he was ordered to pay $7 million. $7 million, people. Yes. According to Gossip, the rapper owes more than $7 million to his alleged victim in an assault case. A California federal court has signed off on an order for law enforcement to seize the game's assets in order to satisfy a $7 million judgment. Now, y'all know the game has said he wasn't going to pay anything. And there was talk that he could be put in jail, but that never happened. And I think he may have known that. I'm assuming he has the funds to fight it in court. But apparently the government is stepping in on the behest of an IG thought, and that's what she is. Now, I'm not saying that she deserved anything to have happened to her, but I'm going by the evidence of everything, right? And she's been trying to get her money for a while now. The deputy clerk of the U.S. District Court approved a right of execution against the game last month, which orders United States Marshals to confiscate money in his bank accounts or take over his properties in order to pay the judgment. Have y'all ever heard anything like this? I have never seen someone who was sued, lost a suit, and has to, pay, the federal government getting involved in that. I could see if it was some criminal activity, drugs or anything else, human trafficking. But to get involved in this, did the feds really need to get involved in this? The game's alleged assault victim, Priscilla Rainey, won the money after successfully suing him for molesting her while on a date in 2015 as they filmed the reality show She Got Game. I heard of the game had fingered India Love. There's actually an infamous photo of the situation. It might be a video too, when they were just outside, like almost in the park, and he's fingering her. This was a situation where the game really should have kept his hands all the way to himself. But we don't know what went on. She could have been flirtatious towards him, and he may have taken it way farther than it needed to go. We know the game thinks a little differently. He does things. He is a bit of an attention seeker, especially when music is about to be dropped. He is notorious for pillow talking. He loves to tell all of his, sexual escapades with women in the industry. And I think it might have finally caught up with him in this situation, because to me, this is all on the game. When you're filming a show, bro, you can't be trying to sleep with the women while you're filming the show. I mean, if you want to sleep with one of the women, I'm pretty sure if y'all come to that mutual understanding, it can happen. But if you have to do that, that lets me know that you didn't really care. You really thought that you could just do whatever, she'll be cool with it. Maybe in that moment she was, but apparently a judge didn't see it that way, gang. This is why you got to think, bro. You got to think. Because the only way she would have won that suit is if they knew, there may have been witnesses, or maybe your testimony didn't add up and hers did, and they trusted her word over yours, which is not good. But Game was saying he wasn't gonna pay nothing. Well, Game, they are testing your gangster, and they are trying to take your physical assets from you if you're not going to pay them, and go into your bank account. Once again, people, I have never seen anything like this. The right, which was obtained by Gossip, directs U.S. Marshals to enforce Rainey's $7.1 million judgment against the game, along with an additional $100,000 in interest. Rainey has been trying to collect her judgment for years, but the game, who is set to release new music this year, has been adamant about not paying up. Late last year, she was able to have the case moved from Illinois to the game's home state of California to make it easier to get the money. And it does. California screws over a lot of men, which is why I don't understand why there will be men who move to California, especially when they're married, because your wife is going to be able to divorce you in California and take you for all you're worth. It's unclear Friday whether the marshals has satisfied the terms of the right. You know what I think happened? They could have told the game this ahead of time, because they went and got this order a month ago, which means that his attorneys could have been notified, which means the game could have hid his money. He could have hid any expensive things he had around his house. So by the time they got there, they may be able to find a couple grand worth of stuff, but he probably done moved furniture, TVs, jewelry, especially jewelry. He probably has a couple $100,000 in jewelry alone in his house. He could have already done hid all of that. But see, this is why you have to be careful, bro. You cannot be out here putting your hands all over women when it's business. And when you're filming a reality show, that's business. You know, I can see if you two are about to engage in sexual activity, then she can't sue you because you're engaging in sexual activity. But there was no activity being engaged in, and the judge found your word to not be reliable. They may have thought you were cocky, because the game can be very arrogant, and he thinks that certain rules don't apply to him. See, this is why we got to be smart, man, because you got these thoughts like Priscilla, who has a known criminal history. Okay? Keep people like that from finessing you out of $7 million. $7 million. Because what you have to understand, gang, I saw her on the show. I saw how thirsty she was to win that competition, to be number one. And when that situation happened, it was like a light bulb in her mind. Now, maybe she does have mental trauma from that, and that's very unfortunate. But again, I saw her on the show. She was very aggressive towards game, very aggressive. And sometimes if you do not read, if you're not very good in nonverbal communication, you can think that means that she wants to sleep with you. But no, bro, she's trying to win. She's trying to big up. She's trying to build up her social media profile. And she was going to use your show to do that. She was going to give some other dude the pom-pom, not you. And maybe you noticed that. And maybe you said, okay, let me be a little bit more aggressive. Can't do that, bro. Because now you're in a situation where they are seizing your property. Now, y'all can correct me in the comment section, but is it standard operating procedure for the U.S. District Court to approve rights of execution towards getting material goods in order to satisfy a suit? Now, I know they do that in credit. Now, if you owe creditors, they can take your cars and all that. That's happened to a ton of artists in the industry. I think that happened to Jermaine Dupri, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they seize a bunch of his cars because of how much money he owed? It was either him or Dallas Austin. It was one of them. I think it was him, because he owed money. Now, I know they can do that. You know, when you got all this expensive stuff and you owe the government money in taxes, or you owe lawsuits, you know, I know that stuff can be seized. So maybe this is standard operating procedure. But when it comes to this type of suit, okay, this type of civil suit, I did not know that they could do that. But I will say this, though. It took the game 2 years up until this point for there to be any movement towards paying this Priscilla Rainey. And I believe that, you know, the courts may have gotten tired of her and her lawyer going back and forth, saying, where's the money? And I think they just say, you know what, screw it. We're just going to go and just seize his money, which he could have already moved by now. Because Game is very savvy. I mean, he's been in the industry for a long time. He's very savvy. I'm pretty sure he's hiding money now, you know. But Be that as it may, this Priscilla Rainey chick really finessed this guy. Okay, I saw her on the show. She was very aggressive towards him on the show. She seemed like she was ready to do whatever it took to win. And I just feel like she wasn't attracted to him. Because listen, look at the Flavor of Love, a reality show. Some of those women towards the end actually slept with Flavor Flav. They actually slept with him. Do you think those women are attracted to him? But this Priscilla Rainey chick wasn't even trying to sleep with Game. I don't think she was attracted to Game. I think she was attracted to his clout, his fame, his money. I think she was attracted to that. But I don't think she necessarily was attracted to him like that. That is why he's, fingering her, according to reports. And she's taking it completely by, oh my God, what is going on? What is he doing? Because that's what it seemed like. Don't get it twisted, man. Just because you got women out there that are fans don't mean they want to screw you. Just because you got, there's a difference between, fans and groupies at times. Groupies are women who are willing to sleep with you no matter what. They'll do it whenever, wherever, no matter. But there are people who are fans, but they're not necessarily trying to sleep with you. They're just like what you do, as an artist. So whatever you do. And I think that Game is in a situation where, being arrogant won't get you very far when it comes to lawsuits and dealing with the government. And that's why they are doing what they're doing now.